Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. This video is going to be a serious one. I know it's April Fool's Day, so this might not be great timing, but this is a serious topic, and it's something that's been on my mind for a while, but due to recent events, it's become even more of an issue. And it's something that is very much so affecting me as a creator, and not only affecting me as a creator, it's affecting all the creators here on YouTube. And it's also, in results, going to affect you as a viewer. And I have a lot of things to talk about in this video, so I'm going to try to do the best I can to keep it quick and condensed, but I ask that you listen to me and hear me out through this video so you can kind of understand everything that's going on. So what's going on is on YouTube. You may have heard of this, you may not, depends on really if you follow YouTubers on Twitter or if you're into, current events regarding YouTube. But what's happened recently on YouTube is there's been a boycott. And it's not like the creators are getting all upset with YouTube's newest change, like the sub glitch or YouTube heroes or like some other thing that people try to make videos about to go ahead and complain about to make an extra buck off of what YouTube's doing. This is actually a much more real serious problem. It's not something that people are just trying to create commentary out of. The problem with this boycott is that advertisers are boycotting YouTube. And that's a really big deal for creators and for viewers. And the reason why that's a big deal is because if you know anything about YouTube and how YouTube works, you get free content for watching an ad. And then you get to watch the video all the way through, right? Well, what's going on with the advertiser boycott is a lot of the big ad companies like, I think, Coca-Cola, Walmart, and a big list of other ones. You can go ahead and Google YouTube advertiser boycott and you'll see what I'm talking about. And what that boycott is resulting in is YouTubers aren't getting paid as much as they were before. And it's pretty drastic. And you can see a clear cut in my analytics and in many other people's analytics right when we started finding out, which was like towards the end of March, where estimated monetized playbacks, which is when an ad plays on a video, is going down drastically. And you can see it. It's like half of as many estimated monetized playbacks, assuming that your views were stable during that time and you didn't get any like big view spikes or big view dips. So what does that mean? I'm SwingPoynt. I'm not a YouTuber. I don't know what any of this means. This is just all mumbo jumbo to me. So to break it down, advertisers are what pay YouTubers. You view the ad and then we get paid off of that. Advertisers are pulling out, which means YouTubers aren't getting paid by advertisers even when you watch a video because the ads just aren't showing up as much anymore. And that's resulting in YouTubers getting a pay cut, which really, really sucks for a lot of YouTubers. And not all YouTubers are ginormous, gigantic, huge personalities that have more money than they can deal with. A lot of us are like regular income type folks that aren't making tens of thousands of dollars a month. We are making a paycheck that is similar to what somebody with a traditional job would get, except for all of a sudden we're getting a big pay cut. And this is always and has always been one of the scariest parts of working on YouTube, is that you're at the whim of YouTube. For better or for worse, whatever YouTube does, it affects us. And right now it's for worse. And this whole past year, there's been a lot of things that have been not so great for content creators. The sub glitch is one that's gotten a lot of publicity. I don't know how true that is. I never really commented on it because there's apparently no evidence going any other way. But this one is real and it's affecting content creators right now. So, why are you making this video, SwingPoynt? The reason why I'm making this video is because I learned back in school. I went to college for a reason that when something happens and the environment that you work in changes, there's two things that you can do. You can either keep doing what you've always been doing and then risk suffering the consequences of not adapting, or you can try to adapt with the changes and try to keep pushing forward so that what you do, your business, aka SwingPoynt, can keep going forward. And this change that I am going to introduce to you guys and I'm going to ask you guys is something that's been on my mind for a while for different reasons, and I'm going to explain those right now. And before I get into this, I should say why this boycott is happening. I totally forgot to mention that. The reason why this advertiser boycott is happening is because advertisers are looking at YouTube, and apparently there's been a lot of extremist content showing up on YouTube, or at least enough to make advertisers concerned. So things like ISIS videos and things like that, the really, really extremist content, are causing advertisers to be like, whoa, I don't want to be associated with that. So they're pulling out from YouTube until YouTube gets their shit together and fixes this. So, I should have explained that earlier, but that's the reason why this boycott is happening. And because of that, all of us are getting affected. It's like when one person ruins the party for everybody else, well, the people making these ISIS videos are the ones ruining it for all the other content creators. And now because of this advertiser boycott, I've been trying to think of ways that I can make it so that I can keep being SwingPoynt and I can keep making videos for you guys because I really enjoy doing that. And like I said, this is something I've been thinking about for a while, but due to this advertiser boycott, it's been accelerated. And from everything I've been looking through, that seems like the best choice in order to create more stability with the channel and to make it so that we're not really at the whim of whatever YouTube is doing is to take the problem away from YouTube and to make it so it's not YouTube that's always paying the bills. Make it so ads aren't what are paying the bills. And I've been looking through all these different ways that I can do that, and I feel like the way that makes the most sense, due to you guys probably already knowing what it is, and it being a platform that is accessible for a lot of people, is to open up a Patreon. And I had a Patreon a long time ago, and then I pretty much got rid of it. And now that we're at this point where all of a sudden the way that I get paid on YouTube is starting to really be under threat, I decided to reopen the Patreon thing. I also had this Game Whisper thing for a while, which was mainly for streams, but if you never were into the streams, you never really understood what that was all about, and it's really hard to explain unless you're part of the Twitch community, because it's mainly a Twitch thing anyway. So I opened up a Patreon, and the way I'm doing the Patreon thing is I don't want to have all these different tiers where people that pay more are treated better, because that's like the traditional model, and every time I look at that and every way I try to spin it, I hate it. I used to do something a long time ago where people would get postcards for this, or they'd get custom commands for this or that, and they'd get all these different rewards based on how much they supported the channel. So every time I look at that, I hate it. Every time I even try to think about that, I don't like it, because I don't like creating this feeling of people that are like, well, I can only support this much, but these people, they get better stuff because they have more money. I don't like that at all. So what I'm doing is, with this Patreon, is I am opening up one tier, and that one tier is the $1 tier. And I have a Patreon page set up, so I ask that you go ahead and read that, because I have the reasoning behind why I think this is the best way to do it. But the main reasoning behind it is that, you guys may or may not know this, but when a YouTuber gets paid for their videos, on average, 1,000 people have to watch in order for $1 to be made by a YouTuber. So you can go ahead and look at people's channels and be like, oh, wow, 1,000? And then you can be like, well, a 10,000 view video only made $10, or a 1,000 view video only made $1, or etc., etc., etc. That number changes based on the time of year, but on average, it's about $1, especially once you take taxes out. So unless you are watching 1,000 videos from SwingPoynt, and you can get literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of entertainment out of this channel, because I have over 1,500 videos, and I stream once to twice a day. So that is literally hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of hours of content that I have provided for you guys, and I continue to provide for you guys. And some folks go ahead and they get hundreds of hours of entertainment, and I feel like I can be justified in asking for $1 a month out of people if they're getting literally hours and hours and hours of entertainment out of the channel. Because at the end of the day, something that people really need to understand is that free entertainment isn't free, and it never was. Free entertainment on YouTube was supported by ads, and if YouTube's ads are under threat, free entertainment goes away. And I feel like $1 a month for when you are getting hours and hours of entertainment is like nothing, especially considering the standard for all these other different types of entertainment, be it like cable or Sling or anything like that, is like $50 a month for a bunch of crap you never use. I feel like $1 a month is definitely justifiable for something that you literally get hundreds of hours of content out of. And I'm not saying this just for me, but just for any creator in general. If they have a Patreon, $1 will pay your way beyond anything you'd ever support for the channel in terms of viewership. I guarantee it. Unless you are literally watching over 1,000 videos from them, that $1 a month goes well beyond what you'd ever actually monetarily contribute to the channel via ads. And then, like I said, I'll have just one tier. And then if people want to support more because they really like the channel, that is an option. And that's something that somebody can personally decide upon. And what you'll get for that $1, like I said, I'll have all on the page. But I'm planning on private live streams, which will just be anybody who's in the $1 tier. They'll be able to play games that don't make sense for me to play in a public setting. So games that I can get you guys chatting on screen and things like that. Games where we do like a lot of like viewer focused things where it's you guys getting in the games themselves. The reason why those would be private live streams is because when you try to open those things up publicly, you open yourself up to trolls, you open yourself up to things that really just aren't that great. So having it locked behind the Patreon thing makes sense. And it's not like regular live streams would go away. I would do this like once a week, once every other week, something to make it so you guys are getting what you paid for, but I'm not ever going to hurt everybody else who isn't in that Patreon tier thing. You know what I mean? And then other things you'll get is movie nights. We'll do movie nights every once in a while. So we'll go ahead and we'll go on Rabbit TV. If you don't know what that is, it's a really cool site where we can all share a screen together and we watch whatever's on the internet. I try to keep it legal though, because I don't want to break any laws over this. And another perk would be if we play games on stream, like our public streams, and you guys want to get in on that, people who are patrons or also YouTube sponsors or Beam subscribers, anything like that, they get first dibs. Exclusive server access in Discord. So I'll have an area called Sponscribers, and that'll be the home for anything that we do in terms of movie nights, private live streams, things like that. You can talk to me more directly because I have most of my DMs turned off on Discord, so that Sponscribers area will be a really good way to talk to me directly. And then at the end, of course, it is just supporting me and making it so you guys can get more content. And the reason why I was thinking about this change even before we started having this problem with advertisers was that when you rely off of ads and when you rely off of views for your paycheck, the freedom to make content that is more niche, that is more varied, that isn't with the trends, goes away. And if you guys have been with the channel for any length of time, I'm sure you've seen plenty of Let's Plays by me that I've just dropped. And the reason why I've dropped them is because there wasn't enough people watching it right away, or the timing was off, or there's games I won't even consider half the time because it's not what's current on YouTube right now. And that sucks, and I don't get to play games that a lot of you guys would be really interested in. And the reason for that is because I live off of views and I live off of ads. But if it were to be a Patreon type thing, I don't have to worry about that because you guys are already supporting me, right? So that would open up pathways for me to play more games that you guys would want to see. Like, I would love to play Pocket Mirror, but it wouldn't make sense for me to play Pocket Mirror because it's not current anymore. I wanted to play more of the Wardrobe, but it just kind of fell out of season because all these other games came out. Things like that. And there's been plenty of games that I've never even looked at, like Corpse Party Book of Shadows. I've never even thought about touching it because it's just out of season now. It doesn't make sense to play it on YouTube. And not only is it about making sure that you get views to pay for your bills, if you aren't getting those views, you fall out of favor in the YouTube algorithm, which hurts your channel even more. Trust me, the YouTube algorithm is like the bane of YouTubers' existence, but it's also the thing that feeds us. It's like our lifeblood. So there's a lot of things that I have to worry about behind the scenes, all because of ads and viewership. And again, that's under fire right now. So again, I feel like opening up this Patreon benefits the channel and would have benefited the channel even before this advertiser problem became a thing. And again, this isn't just a me thing. I don't want to act like SwingPoynt's the only one dealing with this. Everybody's dealing with this right now. So let's say you have 10 creators that you're really interested in, and you can have a budget of $10 a month. If you go ahead and you put $1 to each one of those creators, that's a big deal, and you pay your way for that channel more than you ever would by watching ads, especially if you use ad block. I'm looking at you. So that's that. I felt weird making this video because this is, if you don't know this is kind of like a faux pas to go ahead and make a video like this saying, hey guys, I opened up a Patreon. I need you guys' help. But I also feel like at the end of the day, screw all those people that get on their high horse and get on a YouTuber's butt for going ahead and opening up a Patreon, because free entertainment isn't free and it never was. And the reason why it was free is because ads paid for it. And if ads are under fire and aren't going to be as effective as they used to, well, then other methods have to be used in an attempt to make it so I can keep being a YouTuber. One other thing. I know this has been a lot of words, but one other thing, which is really, really important, is live streaming. I have a Beam channel. I've been streaming on Beam, and the really cool part about Beam is there's like no delay. So when I say something, you hear it right away. If you watch on Twitch or if you watch on YouTube, you know that there's like a 10 to 15 second delay minimum whenever you're watching a streamer. I've been streaming on Beam, and it's been a great experience. You guys have really been loving it. And I'm going to have that link in the description. So I would ask you that you go ahead and make a Beam account and follow me there, so that way you can be a part of streams over there, because that's like another thing I want to do is get more into streaming, because I have learned over my time being a YouTuber that I really love actually talking with you guys. I really love community, and I love hanging out with other streamers. The thing with videos, while I really like making videos, there's like this wall, and everything, it's like playing phone tag. So I really like streaming, I really enjoy it, and I want you guys to be a part of that. So I'll have that link in the description. Go ahead and make a Beam account, give me a follow. We've got like 1,500 people over there already, and I've never even really announced it to you guys in a video on YouTube. People are really loving it. Every time they go there, they never come back because they love it so much. So this has been my thing that I had to talk about today. I am sorry for blabbering, or at least talking for so long. I wanted to keep it short, but this is really important. And all the links for all this stuff is going to be in the description, the Patreon, the Beam stuff, all of that. And thank you guys so much for helping and supporting the channel. Without you guys, the channel doesn't live. And you guys have always supported just by watching and with ads and things like that. And if you can't be a patron, please don't worry about it. But I also feel like $1 a month, if you're getting hundreds of hours of entertainment, or at least, hell, if you get 10 hours of entertainment out of a channel, I think $1 a month isn't that much to ask. And some people will support more, and some people won't support at all. But I'm grateful for anybody who's just here right now. So thank you so much. I ask that you go ahead and look at the link so you can read through what I wrote up on Patreon, and then consider becoming a patron. So thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you for listening to me. April Fool's Day is today, but this is not an April Fool's joke. So sorry for the bad timing. The reason why I did it today is because it's the beginning of the month, and the way Patreon works is it charges at the beginning of the month. So it's like right away. And if I would have done it at the end of the month, then it would have doubled up. And that would have been annoying for anybody who decided to become a patron. So it made sense to do it today. So thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Once again, I appreciate you listening to me. I appreciate you listening to the problem that I'm dealing with as a YouTuber, and the problem that everybody else that's a YouTuber is dealing with. And I am always going to be grateful for all the support that you've always given me. So thank you. You are the best. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys in the next video.